Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to an Pointless City Skyline experimental video where today guys, we're actually continuing on from a previous experiment we'd done on the channel recently. The last experiment I did was to see if a city could become self-sufficient by using the excess water added with the sewage that it produces turned into clean drinking water. Can it then utilize more water than it uses? The answer was yes. Astoundingly it was yes, and I kind of felt like I broke the game slightly. But it then raised another kind of idea in my head. That was trying to see if a city could be self-sufficient on water. Can we kind of expand on that idea and look at power at the same time? What if I could utilize the water flow that we have to allow the city to generate electricity, whether it be a dam, whether it be wind turbines that go in the sea turbines? I'm not sure what they're kind of called right now. But can a city become self-sufficient to the next step? That is what we're going to find out today, guys. If you do enjoy this episode and want to see more Pointless City Skylines experimental videos, then make sure you do smash that like button down below. If you're under it here, then make sure you do subscribe so you are notified when the next episode does come out. But I feel like the experiments lately haven't been too pointless. I need to get back on. We need more poop to make them more pointless. But if you didn't see the last experiment that I did, basically this is the save game that we used. How it works is we have this singular water pump over here that brings water into the city. Now if I show you the city vitals right now. So basically that single water pump over here brings in 160,000 of water in. But the city is using 250,000 gallons of water. So it's using nearly 100,000 more gallons. And the reason it's able to do that is because any excess water that we're not using gets pumped out to here, which technically this shouldn't be happening because we shouldn't have any excess. But what we're doing is we're using the sewage water, we're pumping it into this little kind of reservoir. It gets cleaned, goes all the way down to here, and it gets pumped up by this pump over here, which picks up it as clean drinking water. Thus tricking the game to thinking that we've got more water available than what we do. Thus then making these outlets actually work, and now we're self-sufficient on water. But what can I do and how can I set this up to also include power? Right now we have electric availability a lot. That's all I can say. I'm using a Tesla Gigafactory right now. Now imagine if I could not have that in. Imagine if I could turn that off. I mean, it doesn't really cost us that much money anyway. Imagine I could, you know, have more efficient ways and energy. Could you imagine if the city could produce its own electricity? Well, that's what we're going to find out today. This is going to be interesting. So what we could do is we could use this water flow. If I kind of built off this, just kind of created a more solid version, and we create like a little staggered system, I could hopefully implement a dam. Putting a dam in it is then going to allow us to use the flow of the water to generate electricity, which is what's going to give us some power in here. But it does mean I'm going to have to kind of add in so many of these outlets right now to create like a really strong water flow behind the dam. And I'm hoping that with the wind, okay, it's not really there. It won't be until I kind of create fast flowing water that maybe, you know, you get the wind turbines. You get this one here, the advanced wind turbine. If I could eventually place it, if I placed it here on the water, 14 megawatts. Obviously, I can't place it there. Placing it on land there, 8. So you get more for being in the water. But we got to get the water flowing a little bit quicker to be able to utilize it. This is going to be interesting. I don't know how this is going to play out. I ultimately don't know how this is going to play out. So before I do, I'm going to break a few items right now. I'm going to break a few things. It's not going to go down too well, but hopefully we can get it rocking and rolling. So we're going to continue. We're going to basically keep that out, but we're going to move that out up here. So I'll kind of build within this section first. So what we'll do is we'll raise the terrain height over in this area. So it's by 60. If I pull it to, let's double it to 120. And let's just create a simple U. So rather than do it with the key walls, is what pretty much what we've done in the other side. We're going to do all this right now, terrain in it, because we've got to build some type of a dam in here. So if I go to there, actually I'll cut across the whole little section because I've got to build staggered areas. So I bring that down to about here. There we go. Bring it straight up. Nice, nice, nice. And then what we'll do then, we'll then pick a... We'll pick... It's at 60 already, isn't it? So 80 will be the next feet. So if I go into here by 80, and then bring that up to there, and then we'll do 100 here. Oh, there we go. 100. Which I'll bring to there. And that is then how we create the drop-down staggered effect. So I know that there is 80. So if I then do back to 100, make the brush size a bit smaller, because then we've got to create these little boundaries. And bring these right down to here. So it's a little bit all over. I say it's a little bit all over the place. It's all over the place at the minute. It really is. But get this further down so it staggers nicely. And I think at this point here is maybe where we create the dam going across just there. Probably where we could implement it. So that's how we're going to get it all set up. So if I just kind of quickly just killed off this little corner piece here, because naturally, if I bring this further in, the water would drop all the way down to there. So I don't really get to mess up what I've currently got on the go right now. I just kind of get to extend it a little bit further. Right, okay. So we got to drop down then like a ton of these, and I mean a ton of these right now to kind of create the dramatic water flow that we want. So if I do actually put a key wall in first, which happens here, because it'll allow me then to kind of create a solid edge. Just to there. As you create that little solid edge where you can hang stuff over the edge of it to drop everything in. So bring that brush size down. And just kind of get in right to the corners. There we go. And then water. So yeah, see what I mean? I can hang these over the edge right now. And get these as close by as possible. Because the more of these I've got, the more water it's going to throw in to this reservoir that I'm kind of building. And the more water we can then push through our dam. And the faster the water's flowing, hopefully the more wind it then generates, and then the more wind power we can utilize from our stinky poopy water. Yes, it's one of those experiments. So that's all going to funnel into here, which is going to cause huge waves. But I'm hoping at that point it's kind of staggered down quite nicely. And we shouldn't really see too much of an issue. So it needs power itself, but if I just quickly get it connected up first to there, if again I can't put anything down yet, so if I just kind of place this here to kind of bridge the gap and let it do what it's got to do. So we might see a little bit of overspill at some point. Definitely down in this area we might see a little bit of overspill, but I'm hoping that this can create something much more beautiful for us. So fast forward then, it's already thrown water in, but I'm going to have to put so many down this side and down this side as well to really bulk it up. But I just want to see what we get out of this, because it's all about fine-tuning and balancing it all. But it turns all of them on, and straight away we got a nice little flow on the go. That rhymed. Damn. That freaking rhymed, boys. But that's looking good. So the walls are high enough here that any kind of splashes up the edges should be handled pretty well. So that should all fall into here. And because of the natural flow of how the water goes down to this area, it should all flow wonderfully. Now my only concern would be is that that's not pumping enough water from what we're producing. But that's when we kind of slowly get rid of all of these. So slowly start deleting these one by one, as now we have some sewage outlet on the go. Get rid of all of these, and I'll place some more sewage pumps and stuff down. Did that helicopter really just pick up a lot of poop water to go and drop onto a burning building? I seriously think it just did. Right, I'm going to get rid of all of this. Delete you, and we're going to key wall that to there. Goes up a little bit high. Creates a little bit of another basin there. But we switched all the water over anyway. So we shouldn't really see it. This will eventually just die out, this little area. But I'm not sure how the pollution's going to handle it, but I need so many more of these pumps right down right now. So I could utilise and add in the larger ones. But I can fit so many more in such a smaller window. So again, we're going to go crazy right now. Place down as many of these as possible. Bam. Bam. Keep it going. Lovely. Lovely. Lovely jubbly. So that's going to cause even more waterworks right now. So I'm hoping some of the pollution's not seeping through, which I have a feeling it might be. So, no, we're okay. We're okay. There's no dirty water just yet. That's going to drop in so much more sewage water right now to create an even stronger flow. But I need more in. Well, I mean, there's a fast bulk of water coming down. But look at the patchiness. It's not enough. It's still not enough, and this is just simply going back and forward right now. It's hilarious. It's not enough, boys. So this is where we now go a little bit crazier. So I'm going to now anarchy a load of this in. So I don't know if this is the right move for me doing this. But I've just anarchied a ton of these in. So now the crazy thing is, not all of these are going to be hooked up. So I don't know how this is going to play out. We tried our best. And then we get it hooked up to... Oh, we're overfilling. Oh, snap. Okay, we got too much. I can live with that. I can live with that, but that's a lot of water there to flow through. I think it's going to be too much to barricade our little garbage floating facilities here. But it should be okay. It should be okay. So from the get-go then, electricity, look at the amount of wind. Like 20 each one of these can now produce. Because of the flow of the water at this point. So placing all those down there right now, we need, basically, if I round up to 300, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 240 I'm producing. Oh snap! Oh snap! Hold on. The pollution, the poo water, might be spreading through slightly. So I know this is very expensive to do it like this, but I've got to make sure that we have clean drinking water. Otherwise, everyone's going to be ill. Alright, that should now clean everything up a little bit more. But I've got so much fluid in. There's poop everywhere, guys. What have I done? What has he done, boys? What has he done? I think I've now cleaned it up quite nice. Yeah, so enjoy the chocolate milkshake that's going to come out of your taps right now. But I feel like we managed to clean it up. Yikes. It's still seeping through just here though, isn't it? So I'll place it all down that side. Kills it off. So yeah, we've almost got enough then. Just based off these. So if I do another set of 3. If I turned off this Tesla Gigafactory, the only thing that's given us power in this whole city, we are now producing 332. Is the pollution still tearing through? Or is it just that one little bit that kind of managed to get through? I don't know if that's going to be a regular occurrence or it was just kind of like a slight overfill. Oh, it could be the bit that went over and then came back in. Yeah, I'm so sorry, everybody, that you're getting flooded with poo water right now. Please, please forgive me. Please forgive me right now.
I'm not sure I understand.
See, even Siri's listening to me right now. She is so concerned about the residents of this little town and the poo that I'm bringing in. But if I remember a size right now, because we're going to cover this whole area back up. There we go. It might cause some more flooding, but I can build some more industry because it looks like the city could need it. But there we go. Are we back in business right now? We are kind of back in business, but my only problem would be now that I don't need these guys throwing in all the excess water because it's going to overspill. We'll do everything now pretty much based on the sewage water. So as of right now then, our excess or our sewage water is now being pumped into clean drinking water, and we're using that, which limits the amount of kind of pumps that I've got to use sucking up from nature. We are self-sufficient on the waterfront. So by turning that off then, that's a huge amount of water that we're now no longer pumping in, which we're going to cause more spillage again because, like I said, there's too much water being pumped in right now. But it will settle down. Do not worry, it will settle down. I'll turn these two pumps on as well. So at least they can have a little bit of an impact for us. So yeah, we're also pretty much running the whole city based off the wind of poo. There's a slight breeze and you smell a little bit of poop in the air. Do not worry, because that poop is generating power for you right now. So all I'm missing and all I need to add in at this point then is our dam. But the problem is we're overspilling everywhere on the old waterfront. I've got to wait for it to slightly settle. So everyone is getting bombarded. Everyone's getting bombarded. So I think rather than turn it all off, because it'll be a huge pain to do so, should I just build the dam now? Let's just build the damn thing now. So if I went from there to there, it will say generate 128 in power. So this could be a bad idea. This could legit be a bad idea. But I feel like the water is nice and flowy in that little section. We'll see how it kind of ticks along. So we got to wait for the water to get to a certain height. We do have to wait for the water to get to a certain height before this starts working. So it gives me a little bit of time. But it also... Oh my goodness me, look at the flooding we've caused. What have I done? I've killed everybody. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry right now. But that should give us... There we go. There we go. It should like give us a little bit of a breathing space. And then that should kind of control the amount of water that does flow through. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. I might have to turn some of these pumps off, but that's not a problem. Oh my goodness me. I might have to delete some, turn some off. Yeah. So pause. Alright, if I delete a bunch, it probably... You know what I'd do, actually? If I drag all that there, delete all these. Now, I'm not saying that that is going to solve everything. That'll take a nice little edge off. Still a lot of water's coming through and down. We're about finding that balance again, because now the water's flowing back this way, it's going to meet this here head on. So there's not really a lot you can do at this point. But I'm just going to make sure that we've got the right amount of water flowing through here. So this looks reasonable right now. It does look reasonable. Still flowing through there, quite nice. It's now just about making sure that this gets sorted. So that keeps sucking water up right now, which is making this little area quite low. You can see the little helicopter in there is coming to pick up some water. So we got to crack a few eggs to make an omelette. We got to throw a few poos to make some energy. That's the new saying these days, guys. That's the new saying. But, yeah. Now, the dam has stopped. So that will be because the water level dropped below what's needed for the dam to work. So once I've got that nice little fine balance, I gotta wait for this to all settle. It's just ridiculous, the settling that we've got to wait for. So maybe I deleted one too many. Now just a case of waiting for this to rise again. It also could be as well because we're not producing as much sewage right now because we've killed like half the city off. But this should work. See, then it turns back on very briefly until the water level drops again. So we've got to fine tune this. But I just got to get this all sorted down here. So that keeps sucking all up. That's now pretty low. So we'll see how long this water lasts for. Because the problem is when it gets to here, it's then battling against the flow coming in return. So we kind of need to make these edges a little bit higher. Because the water's going back and forth, and there's like not really much we can kind of do about that. So what I need to do, and it's actually been quite difficult to do so right now. So if I don't select buildings, what doesn't get selected? Oh, that's perfect. So if I go to here, and if I choose to slope, that makes them a lot higher. If I select this one over here, bring it to there, rise it right up, and then do what we've just done on the other side. And then say slope. That keeps them all into that kind of extent and keeps the flow going down. And the dam's working well. Well, it turns on and off is the thing, because I gotta fine tune that. But the water is in anyway. So I don't mind if it does actually stop and start. That's not going to be a huge problem, because it becomes quite an easy way to kind of control it at the same kind of time, doesn't it? It's just I don't like when it then hits the back and then comes back on itself. That's the bit I'm not quite happy about. So what is the levels 30 here? So what if I made it, if I do a 0 at some point in here? So if I do a 0, say to here, so we're creating this real bottom basin area. Where all the water would naturally fall into. So then we've got them staggered stages again. So if it kind of hits the wall and comes back, it probably only go as far as here. Is having these on the edges causing us a little bit of an issue? Let's move them over slightly. So we see how this plays out then. So it should only really bounce in between this small little area until the water comes above that area, but I'm hoping the pumps are sorting this out. So is that connected in any way, shape or form? It's not connected at all. So if I get the power grid to go all the way to over there, if I delete this wind turbine just here, and then go to here, all of our power comes from the poop sewage water at this moment. It's a bit of a shambles, but it all comes from this. So we pump out the sewage, which creates the wind for the power. Goes for the dam, which turns on and off. It increases, decreases depending on the flow. Again, creates the power, which the sewage water goes all the way through, gets cleaned up, nice and squeaky, drops into the little basin at the bottom, and then gets sucked up into beautiful, clean drinking water. Amazing, right? Amazing. It's just a perfect sight to behold. So we have gone beyond being self-sufficient. We took it to the next step. We are generating our own drinking water from our sewage, and we're generating our own power from our poop water. Could we be any more economical right now? Could we legit be any more economical than what we are right now? I don't know. The only way we could be more economical is if we start putting some of this poop as fertilizer on some of the farms that we can build. It's a weird one, isn't it? But yeah, the water goes all back in. We've got a nice solid balance over here now, so I don't want to mess with it anymore. We've got a consistent flow going in, generating 80 megawatts right there. I think it goes down from like 60 to 90, depending on what the flow's like. But I'll take it. I'll take that. I could put some more wind turbines down to generate more electricity. Water and sewage is looking pretty good. This is all nice and clean. Gets all sucked up. We're on for a little winner. We are on for a little winner right now. So it'd be nice to just kind of keep expanding. So if I did expand then to kind of up our demands. So let's say I upgraded this road just here. And, you know, I don't really bother too much with how this kind of looks. But if I just do it to the point where I can just kind of zone in some more peeps, that would be great. There we go. It's going to randomly cut through the middle for traffic reasons. That didn't quite connect. So by adding more people in right now, this will cause more people to create sewage, more people to, you know, use for water. So it'll just create more demands. That's what I'm focusing on. So we need a little bit more industry, which will drop down. We'll use that industry for a little bit of a buffer between some residential. And do we need a little bit more commercial? Why not? We'll do half and half. So that will spend a lot of demands that we have. The fact that now this is all filling up a bit shows you that we're not using as much water as we're throwing into here. But this is starting to settle as well. The flow that we created, the back and forth, is slowly settling. And the demands will just keep on increasing as more and more people move in. So it is kind of crazy, isn't it? Look at so many people moving in right now. I mean, a lot of people are moving in general anyway, from the fact that I killed off everyone from the sewage water. So why don't I quickly place in a secondary entry point? What type of road is that? Is it the same style? No, not that one. It's got to be this one. There we go. Another entry exit point right there. Just get people moving in a little bit quicker. But no dramas yet. No more dramas just yet. And we're self-sufficient. I mean, it's not great to make them live on the edge of all of this. But we're super efficient, boys. Super efficient. I can make it a bit nicer, smoothing it out. But what's the saying? You can sprinkle glitter on it, but you can't polish it, or something like that. I don't know what the saying is. That's kind of what I'm doing right now. I'm sprinkling a little bit of glitter on it. Nice. Okay, very good. Very good. Very good, Zodiac. Very good. But yeah, beautiful. So much, in fact, that the fire department approves. Collecting all their water from here. Amazing. So water availability is amazing. There's nothing bad we can kind of say about that at this moment in time. Sewage looking good. Power's not too bad. I mean, we can always add in more wind turbines. You know, the more sewage that we produce, the more it's constantly thrown through here, which creates more and more power. But even as of right now, we've got plenty of water and power available. It's getting cleaned into safe, harmless drinking water. I thought we couldn't be any more self-sufficient than we was last episode. But this episode is a whole nother world. And on that note, guys, we are going to end it for here. Hope you did enjoy this. If you did, smash that like button down below. And until next time, I'll see you all soon. So, goodbye.